Hello and welcome to Shirt Shopping, powered by Classic Football Shirts. If you're not familiar with who Classic Football Shirts are, they are a company who sell loads of football shirts. They're based in London, as you can see on screen. They're based in Manchester, as you can see on screen, and they sell tens of thousands of items online. And if you use the code AwayDays at checkout, you can save yourself 10% on any item on the website. They have items varying from £1 to £10,000, and you can get 10% off any of them using the code AwayDays. The way this series works is very simple. Our guest gets £500 to spend on football shirts. If you want to win yourself £50 to spend on football shirts yourself, all you have to do is comment our guest's best purchase and like this video and subscribe to the channel. Speaking of today's guest, we're joined by comedian, podcaster, and most importantly, Leeds United fan, Maisy Adam. Welcome to Shirt Shopping.
Most importantly. Absolutely.
We've finally got a Leeds guest on.
About time.
I know.
About time. I think it's just us two at this point.
It's so nice to be like, because people don't get how depressing and stressful our football club are.
Oh, yeah.
But there's not a better club in the world to support.
Yeah, sometimes I doubt that. Sometimes the anxiety is through the roof. And you think, why do I bother? But then you go see them, and honestly, I agree with you. It's a blessing and a curse being a Leeds fan. We
had to deal with my first season was 03-04, so I got the depression of all of that. I then had to go with League One, then Cellino.
Yeah.
Cellino was actually quite funny though. I prefer us when we're funny. Cellino was actually
was that a specific choice to start low, and then it was like, you were
work our way back up.
Yeah, everything was only ever going to be.
No, so the first season I remember of football was 03-04. So I had that season, we got relegated. Then we had Euro 2004, which I then cried over. And then the only highs I've ever had in football really are...
What a depressing start to a sentence. The only highs I've ever had in football
was this beautiful Argentinian man who came in and changed the club. I loved him. I will talk about him more as we go on. And also, I was there.
Is he here today? Is that what you?
Imagine he comes up.
He's here now. Come on down.
Marcelo Bielsa.
He's hiding in the toilets.
Just wheels in a bucket and just
waiting for his cue.
It's a green room. This is actually Surprising Maisy Adam with Marcelo Bielsa. You know what? We'll talk about Marcelo as we go around. You've got £500 to spend.
Can't believe it.
What are you looking for shirts-wise?
Well, obviously, we've got to start with Leeds. I've got. Last time I came down to Classic Football Shirts, you sorted me with the Thistle Hotels one, right? I'd love that. Yeah, exactly. The lovely big collar. It was the yellow and blue one. Loved it. I'm keen for a shirt with my hero on, the one and only Tony Yeboah.
Okay.
However, I'll take any Leeds shirt you've got, because I'll be honest, I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot of European football. So whether you've got anything from the mighty Beast and Giants, I don't know.
Well, let's start. We'll get to the UK clubs at the end. We'll start around here. These are London clubs. I mean, we don't really need to look here.
If you got rid of that barrier around this,
if you got rid of that badge, what do you think when people refer to them as United? Because obviously we are.
So this is a funny one, because I do quite a lot of chat on podcasts about football. Did the one in the transfer window for the BBC, and then I've got my own one about the women's game, of course. And it's just so ingrained, isn't it, to refer to them? But there's also something in you that the pettiness kicks in, and you're like, I refuse to call them. I refuse to give them that title of being the only one. I refuse. No.
Yeah.
I call them other things, which I probably can't say on camera.
You can say whatever you want.
I don't think I need them in the comments, I'll be honest with you. Yes, I'm sure they're a lovely group of people off the pitch, but not for me. Yeah,
speaking of our podcasting, you've obviously got Big Kick Energy.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going around there.
Yeah. How have you found the difference in the podcasting world? Obviously, been going for a while now, Big Kick Energy, right?
Yeah, so we started in the summer of last year with the Women's World Cup. The idea was I wanted to basically convert somebody into a football fan. So I took fellow friend and comedian Susie Ruffle, who has never been into football at all. And the women's game is the fastest growing sport on the planet at the moment. So I was determined. Sorry, I've just seen a Leeds shirt. I was literally, it was like seeing a really handsome person in pub.
Speaking of the Women's World Cup, how did you deal with the heartbreak of that final?
Well, I was there.
You were there?
Yeah, I went to Australia for it. The moment we beat Nigeria, I was like, we're going to win. We're going to it, because that Nigeria game
was so ropey, right?
Oh, it was so tense. I think my heart rate's still adjusting. But the moment we got through that, I was like, I'm going. And I got a flight out there, and I watched the game against Australia where we knocked out the hosts.
Yeah.
That was tense in the stadium. I can imagine. Getting the train back to Sydney Centre was, interesting. And then, I'll be honest, Australia was so good that I was like, whoever wins this semi-final is going to win the World Cup. So when we beat Australia, I was like, done, no problem. I didn't even, it's really bad, but I thought Spain would be a doddle. I think because I'd seen, we beat them 2-1 in the Euros.
Yeah.
And it was a tense game.
We didn't really play well that day either, it felt like. It felt like if we were on form, we'd have easily...
Because they went up first, didn't they? But I thought, we've got this, no problem. Obviously forgetting the insane quality of the likes of Bonmati and Patelis, etc. So, it was devastating. And I don't think I've ever... It's a long journey anyway.
It's a decent flight
on the way back.
Yeah.
But it felt 10 times longer. A 24-hour flight, basically.
Got current... it's all sort of current season stuff here. This one, for example, like a nice design, that.
Oh, lovely. Obviously a big fan of the colour scheme there.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I prefer a collar. How do you feel about collars?
Well, I designed this shirt.
Oh.
No, I just want to see you actually. I actually did design it, but I'm not happy with how it turned out. But like,
really?
I want like a collar, yeah. And also, the one I love more is the Yeboah one, like the little circular collar.
Exactly.
It's so nice, but it's got the Yorkshire Rose on.
A nice high, that's lovely.
And obviously, I've got a very southern accent.
It's
but,
lovely.
I am half Yorkshire.
Half Yorkshire.
My mum's from Leeds.
You're like these Americans going, I'm actually half.
My mum's from Leeds,
I think I went Australian there. Your mum's from Leeds.
Yeah.
Where's your dad from?
Norwich.
Oh gosh, that's what an exotic combo.
Yeah, I know, and people say I've got no diversity in me.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean? Leeds, Norwich, so different.
Culturally rich.
Yeah. Their marriage didn't work out, but you know.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Although it sounded like a real Romeo and Juliet.
They were really, really good, you know.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. Did you see the childhood trauma kick in there?
Did you see my eyes?
Like
they sort of glazed
stare.
over. And you want to know the worst thing about this is I really want to get to the Leeds section as well, because we never. But we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Obviously, I was there that day when we beat Germany in the final of the Euros.
Yep.
How was that day for you?
Unbelievable. I cried so much. I was at Wembley, and we'd gone to the 2 games that were at the Amex in Brighton, because I live in Brighton. So we'd gone to that 8-0 thrashing of Norway, that tense 2-1 quarter-final against Spain, and then went for the final. And honestly, the Toon goal, fantastic.
Yeah.
But then of course they equalised. Like, the Chloe Kelly goal in added extra time, the 110 will forever be a lucky number, I think, for any football fan. That 110th minute of that game was the best minute of my life. Unbelievable. Like, the stadium went insane.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot after Box Park, but I somehow made it home. And it was just unbelievable. It was such a good day.
I remember singing "Veeg when you're the one" in Box Park, and then I went in, and I was stuck in a German section. Like, no,
How did you manage that?
I don't know.
the one section. We win an international tournament, and you're there partying
with the Germans. Anyway, we had a good time.
We had a good time. Yeah. What a day! What a day!
I loved the video of you. I remember it was when you met Millie Bright. On the panel show, it was so genuine. It was so proper sincere.
Yeah. So they set me up for that good and proper. This was on Big Fat Quiz of the Year, and there was a sports round, and obviously this was the year we'd won the Euros, and it was already becoming clear what that had done for the game, and what it was doing up and down the country, and I feel really strongly about it. And they set me up good and proper, knowing how strongly I felt about it, because they deliberately did the sports round about loads of other achievements, none of which were about the women's Euros. So I was getting a bit narky, because I was like answering all these questions about like Wimbledon and the men's game, just like loads of stuff where you're like, these are great achievements, but there was one massive
really big one,
and we're not mentioning it. And I was getting a little bit like, you know, and I think eventually I said something like, how are none of these questions about the women's Euros? And Jimmy was sort of like, oh, I'm sorry, like, you know, what did you expect? And I was like, it's just such a massive thing, like, it's such a huge moment. And then he went, oh, it's really interesting, because we actually have a lioness here. She's actually going to ask a question. And I just thought he was Jimmy being Jimmy. He was like, yeah, everybody please put your hands together for Millie Bright. And she came out. My head was still the cogs were still turning, trying to be like, is he having me on? Is he joking? That I didn't really believe it until she came out. And then I hadn't really prepared what to say. I don't think I'd have reacted like that if I knew she was going to be there. I'd have played it way cooler and been like, okay, here's how you talk. Here's some questions that you can start with. And instead, I was just, you can see it. When you watch the clip, you can see me going through all of the stages of, I've started at anger at the questions, then started at, then gone to confusion on whether or not Jimmy's telling the truth, then gone to shock that Millie Bright is walking out, and then I can remember clocking in real time that I wasn't playing it cool and trying to be like, just play it. And it's like when somebody says don't go red and you go even more red. You're like, just play it cool, play it cool. I just kept getting weirder. I could see, bless her, in Millie's face a little bit like, you all right? Because you're freaking me out a little bit now. But she was great. She was really, really good. And
the thing is, they're such a likeable group of players as well.
So likeable. Like, as I say, what they've done for the game is phenomenal, and I think a huge part of that is they're still a very normal group of like elite athletes, essentially, which is quite a juxtaposition at that level in any sport. To be the absolute game changers, trailblazers, top of their game, and still somehow connect to everybody around the world. Like, you know, we're looking at like these players. You see like the security guards around him, and I get it, but it's like we don't relate to that.
No.
He's like a god, and so these players are kind of like, they're icons and idols and heroes to us, but there's an element of relatability and accessibility, I guess.
Yeah.
You feel like you can approach them. Not that you would know that from looking at the clip, because I was clearly struggling with the idea of approaching Millie Bright. But yeah, it was a great day. Help me out, Jimmy. I can't keep making conversation.
I think probably give the medal back.
Yeah. I'm not sure on that colour scheme. People say you can make any colour work. That's an interesting shade and pattern of green.
Do you think a bit, you know when sometimes people show like a graph of a stock market?
Yep.
And it's like, oh, it's gone down.
Yeah.
Or some mountains maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's not Celtic's best, is it?
No.
It's not Celtic's best.
No. And obviously, every episode of the series, people are like, we always avoid the Celtic Rangers debate because we don't want to get anyone involved in that.
I remember like one of the first times I gigged in Glasgow, I was so excited because in my head I was like, it's Glasgow, it's Billy Connolly, like it's going to be such a fun time. And it was a fun one, but I realised it was the Celtic Rangers game that day. And I turned up to the gig and the tech guy just came into the backstage and he was like, just so you know, there's 4 stag doos, 2 of them are all in Celtic and 2 of them are all in Rangers gear, but have a good one. I was literally just like, I felt like I was going out into like a gladiatorial coliseum, trying to do some observational stuff about being in the Brownies. It was a tough gig.
Yeah, you know, speaking of gigs, tour coming up this year, Appraisal.
Yep, Appraisal, there you go. It's basically, I called it Appraisal because I've been doing this like comedy as my full-time job for 5 years now, and I thought, well, in most normal jobs you have a 5-year appraisal. Yeah. This tour is that.
Nice.
Going to be, it's going to be people sat across from me, letting me know how it's going.
That is literally the most brutal appraisal you can get.
But in a way, like every gig is an appraisal because you soon know how you're doing and you know what to do for next time and where to go from here and. If there's going to be an organisational restructure, it's a better place.
Give yourself a P45.
Yeah, basically.
I know, not to ask the most generic.
So much Chelsea here. Why have you brought me over?
Sorry, we'll move you over.
Yeah.
But not the most generic comedian question of all time. But what is a joke that you've ever had that you must be like, this one's going to hit so well, and then it just doesn't, and you can't? Is there ever a joke that you can't fathom why it hasn't landed?
Yeah. The annoying thing is when you're writing a show, you'll write something in the day, read it back and be like, that is structurally excellent, that is, it's got a great rhythm to it, it works on 2 levels, it's going to be amazing. And then you say it, you try it out for the first time, and it goes down like an absolute lead balloon. And then 5 minutes later, you'll just say something that pops into your head as like a throwaway comment, and it'll roof it, and you're like, oh, what? So it's really hard sometimes trying to work out what's gonna kick off and what's not.
Yeah.
look at me using lingo.
Kick off and what's not.
Hey, you'd think I was in classic football shirts. Oh,
here we go. Now we're talking.
Here we go.
Thank you very much.
Strongbow.
Welcome to Leeds United.
So this is sort of the Strongbow kits always remind me of like being in sort of primary school. It was the era of Harry Kewell. I know Alan Smith, Paul Robinson.
Safe hands, Paul.
It was, yeah, I loved that squad. And I loved the Strongbow kit because it's very like, well, it's of that era, isn't it, where you can be like, oh, we've got an alcoholic beverage sponsoring us.
It's only 30 quid as well.
Rather than a sort of Chinese betting company that nobody's...
Oh, we had Spotop when we got back into the Premier League.
Spotop.
Oh, we've got Adidas now, and it's Spotop.
That's the first time I've heard how to pronounce it. And we were all going SBO top.
I think it might be right, that.
Spotop.
I thought Uniqlo was called Uniqlo until the other day.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get Spotop.
Listen, you're talking to somebody who thought it was called Falafel until
Is it
2014.
falafel?
Yeah.
Falafel?
Yeah, listen,
do you want me to put that on my arm, or are you going to...
Do you know what? I don't have a yellow one, so yeah, let's have that. Oh, you got the Packard bell.
There is more Leeds to talk about in the Legends section as well.
That white and Mackay.
That's the first football shirt I was ever bought.
Yeah, was this 03-04?
That's
this was just before it went.
Because that's our second season. Oh no, I got the one before, the Diodora one, the year before in our first season of the Championship. Because I remember I had I had a really bad armpit rash growing up, and they had to buy me the shirt twice.
Because of the armpit rash?
Because it was so painful for me that they bought me it twice to say, you got the shirt twice, Alice. Because I had to keep putting Savlon on it. And then eventually one of them got a bit...
You've had quite a traumatic childhood, haven't you?
Yeah, the Savlon armpit.
Savlon.
They called me Savlon boy. They didn't.
Oi, Savlon.
Oi, Savlon. Yeah. They got
Sorry, I'm just joining in now.
Where's your mum, Savlon?
Oh. I do love this.
Yeah,
I don't have this one. Can I have this one?
Let me get it down from the rail.
Love that.
Do you want to use the fishing hook?
Yes, please. Thought you'd never ask. Oh, I love that. I feel like I work in Sports Direct. It's great.
I love a Sports Direct mug, though.
Oh, sensational. The mugs you've got here are very cool, aren't they? Like
yeah.
Imagine having somebody round at your house and you just serve them a brew in a big David Beckham face.
What, are you particular over tea?
Oh, definitely.
Yorkshire tea?
Yeah, it's got to be Yorkshire tea.
People are like, and I'm like, no, PG Tips isn't nice.
No.
Do you ever treat yourself to Yorkshire Gold?
Yorkshire Gold.
That is the one. There's one thing I'll splash at the extra 50p.
Yep.
And it does taste better.
It does taste better. Yorkshire Tea Gold. You have to be quite quick with the tea bag. I don't like to brew it.
No.
But don't have chicken soup. Like, let it get beyond chicken soup. But once it starts going to sort of where you feel like you might as well suck on a tea bag, behave. Then, like, it's very peculiar. Do you have sugar?
No, I got sugarless. You look at pain in your face then.
Spice up your life.
Are you having milk or not?
Of course I have. Of course. Do I have milk?
Are you having almond or normal or milk?
Normal.
Cow milk.
Normal.
Proper Brexit traditional milk.
I'm the Sean Dyche.
None of this woke milk. God. Oh, so to speak about Bielsa, because I think he came in a time when, personally, this series isn't about me, but I was falling out of love of football a bit.
Yep.
And he just completely reinvigorated my love
100%.
for the game. Because our club was so stale, which is fine.
And we needed an eccentric character. Really, we should be doing this chat where you ask me questions, and even though I understand fully your question, I get somebody to translate for me. I love it. Like, he absolutely could speak English.
Could speak perfect
we could see it perfectly. But every time he was asked post-match, just staring at the floor, nodding, and then speaking. Wouldn't even look up from the floor, would he? All the way. And that lovely little boy.
Oh, they got rid of him after. We changed interpreter at one point. I found that really weird. But it's so frustrating when people are like, oh, they burnt out. We didn't burn out. We just didn't give him. He didn't back him. And we got injuries. Calvin was injured.
Yeah.
Liam Cooper, I'm not sure that much meant much of a difference.
Do you not think, though, I know what you mean, I want to be romantic about it, but at the same time, I think he had a formula that worked for so long, and then as soon as we started getting a few injuries, we didn't have anybody to back it. Like, we were relying on, 18-year-olds.
Oh, we beat West Ham, and we had a 15-year-old Archie Gray on the bench.
Yeah,
what were we doing?
Absolutely mad, isn't it?
Oh, he's quite good, though.
Archie Gray, is that your hot take?
Yeah, that's big. You know, for more controversial footballing opinions, Archie Gray is quite good.
That Archie Gray, expect big things, I reckon. Yeah. No, he is though.
It's such a likeable squad as well now.
Really
I adore
his
this
energy.
man. I adore him.
I live for his videos in the tunnel.
Let's go!
After every game. Him, Nonto, Somerville. Oh my God. The feeling of it. I've never felt a football shirt like it.
It feels very like, it looks like what you
Feels
see
like
in
I could
like
have a nap in it.
Jimmy Floyd, first name times. Well,
Absolutely incredible. This is going in easily.
okay.
Leeds legend. I once did a football podcast. Oh yes, thank you. Just the 3 Leeds shirts so far. I did a football podcast where you have to read a footballer's autobiography, and they gave me Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank's. I've never read a more unhinged few hundred pages. Absolutely incredible. The way he would just segue from an anecdote about training to his thoughts on pregnancy. Like, incredible. Incredible. Just...
What were his thoughts on pregnancy?
Read the book.
Was someone I thought about a Leeds link to you was, this is very niche of me, but remember we had Chris Wood?
Yeah.
Everyone called him Chris Woods.
Yeah.
With yourself, I said Maisy Adam is coming on. What, Maisy Adams? I was
There's
like, no.
many similarities with me and Chris Wood. A versatile striker, but mainly it's the fact that we often just get pluralised. Yeah. What a striker for us, though.
It was so
He was
good.
unreal, and that was like, I was actually watching like an old, when they just show like old replays of games on Sky. There was a game last night, and it was like Chris Wood, short hair Calvin Phillips. He's such a baby,
I adore that
such
man,
a
Calvin
baby
Phillips.
face, such a baby face. A young, sprightly Stuart Dallas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I worked the FA Cup final last year, and Calvin Phillips walked past and smiled and nodded at me, and I was like, does he know? Does he know? There must be a way he knows.
I think so.
If you do know Calvin,
I think so. You've just got an air about
it's
you.
also like, just come back to Leeds. We'll love you. No one else gets you. No one
Prodigal
else gets
son.
you.
That is what I'm hoping. That is what I'm hoping.
have
We
to
have a
up.
full prodigal son narrative arc.
Some of our fans don't want him back. You know how idiotic they are?
They're pretending.
Yeah.
They're pretending like those people. I ran the marathon last week, and there's loads of people who are like, it's amazing, it gives you such a buzz. Oh, you get such a runner's high. They're trying to convince themselves that that's how they feel. Everybody hated it from beginning to end. It's too long, it goes on and on, it's very tiring, nobody's enjoying it. Sorry.
Congratulations
Obviously,
on running the marathon.
Thank you very much. And obviously it's a wonderful reason to donate and raise lots of money, but nobody is enjoying running a marathon.
I feel like
everybody wants Calvin Phillips back at Leeds.
we do. Hardest Geezer sort of diminished it a little bit, didn't he?
I beat Hardest Geezer.
You beat him?
I beat Hardest Geezer.
Congratulations.
Was it because
there we go.
That was my first ever marathon and it was his 10th in 10 days? Maybe. But I will have it written on my gravestone. Maisy Adam played in Soccer Aid and beat Hardest Geezer in the marathon.
Goal scorer at Soccer Aid this year. And if you score, can we see a Leeds salute at the camera?
Can we have a plan for a celebration?
I think.
Let's do it now.
Go. So you've scored.
Yep.
You've run up to the camera and you've just Leeds salute at the camera.
Okay. I was going to go Willie Nonto.
That's better.
Yeah, Willie Nonto
into
and then a
Leeds
Leeds.
salute. Yes.
Right, lovely.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Thank
Obviously,
you very much.
this does rely a lot on me scoring a goal, but otherwise, bit of that, no problem.
Oh,
yeah.
But the problem is with Soccer Aid, right? You get the group of players who take it a bit too seriously.
Oh my God, you're telling me.
And it's like,
You're telling me.
You could win a penalty, and logically, for me, it's like, let Maisie have it. She's won it. Like the one with Chunks the other year. He won the penalty. She's ripped off. I'm like,
They should have that rule of like the fouled player.
Winner takes.
Yeah, there's a lot of could have gone pro vibes from some of the celebrities. There's a really good
But
one
then
of
there's
them.
gonna go pro vibes.
Then there's gonna go pro vibes. Not coulda, not shoulda,
Gonna.
That's me. That's me. All this, like, yes, the fundraising for UNICEF is a wonderful thing, but this is all part of the plan.
Yeah.
This is a showcase, if you will. This is a show reel. Soccer Aid is a show reel for Maisy Adam.
As a roaming
I'm so going to regret saying that. It's going to be a clip of me going, this is a show reel of my ability.
I'm going to make
It's just going to be a clip of me completely like doing a Gerrard slip or something. This is a show reel of my ability. Oh my God! Oh, we're into Leeds. We're into Leeds.
And
Okay.
there's names in the back of these ones.
Is it Say Fans Robbo?
But the
First man to break my heart.
yeah, I talk us through it because like.
Took us through why he broke my heart, or well, it started with the frosted tips. Who's not going to fall?
He
for
was
a
a
man with
good-looking
frosted
guy, was
tips?
our smudger.
And then I can just remember repeated press conferences of him going, "I'm sticking with Leeds." Those were his words. When you say something, you have to stick by them.
Yeah.
You know, like when you say you're going to become a professional footballer through going from comedy to football, like you have to stick to it. He kept going, I'm sticking with Leeds, I'm sticking with Leeds. And then not only did he not stick with Leeds, he went to like the one club. Well, two of that squad went to the two clubs that you really...
Yeah, the other one was
Yeah,
even
that
worse.
one was even worse. But him and Ferdy both went...
Ferdy.
As we know him, you know...
Textbook Ferdy, that.
Oh, textbook Ferdy. But always, like... Always a soft spot in my heart for him. What a player. When you're a 7 or 8 year old girl getting into football for the first time and there's a very good looking man with frosted tips, it's a great way of getting you into the sport.
He was in Frosted Tips era. That was the peak of Frosted Tips as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he ran so the Backstreet Boys could walk. In that order. I love I don't have a long sleeve top.
Could you wear the Smith shirt is a problem? Would you feel comfortable wearing a Alan Smith shirt?
This is it. It's tainted goods now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you know what you've...
Because you've only got £500 to spend, and there's maybe a couple of shirts
I don't
down.
think I could wear it. I think it's too raw still.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Double
This
Smith.
is the Thistle Hotels one I've got. They said it couldn't be done. So I have this shirt, but not with Yeboah. I mean, that's got to go in.
On the arm.
That's got to go in. Tony Yeboah. I mean,
I think you might be. So there is a
what do you
try-on
reckon I'm at?
section. There is a try-on section, so
Okay.
we'll get you to try each individual item on.
Okay.
But some of them are the same. No, they're not. So this one's 150. Plus 150 is 300. Plus
this
150
is
is
like bargain hunt.
450. Then you get this one, bargain hunt.
It is.
And it comes to.
Well, you're going to hand it out in 20s.
£20 spare.
£20
You get some socks or a mug.
I might get a mug, seeing as we've spoken about how to make the perfect brew.
Well, we'll get you to try these on, and then we'll look at the mugs.
Big fat yes.
Yes,
Big
so
fat
good.
yes.
You're doing the tuck as well.
Because, are you ready for this reveal? Look at that.
The tuck works really well.
It does work really well. You see now why I've tucked.
I like the tuck.
Unless this is for like planning for when I'm bulking, for when I go pro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there'll just be so much muscle that I'll actually be glad it went XXL.
Yeah, definite yes.
I feel like they're getting bigger. Were people just bigger back then? Because this is... I don't know if it's to do with the material, but I still can't say no because of what a legendary shirt it is.
Who's on the back? Yeah, you got Jimmy Floyd.
I've got some thoughts on pregnancy and I'm ready to share. I can feel the power transcending into me.
That right foot is going to be phenomenal.
Right, I'm already lighter on my feet. Look at that.
It is, this is maybe one of my favourite purchases a guest has ever made.
I think so. And I also think from Tony Yeboah's point of view, when he was playing, striking those balls, he'll have thought like one day, that girl with the weird hair will wear my shirt with the dream of going pro. And you're welcome, Tony.
This is the cheapest one.
Yep. I'm debating whether or not I just bite the bullet. If I swapped this for the Smith long sleeve one, would I be within budget?
Let me go figure out.
If I sacrificed a mug purchase.
I'll go find out. We've gone to VAR,
Yep.
and this is brought down purely as a talking point for you.
Yep.
They've gifted it to you.
Stop it. Are you having me on?
No.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm on an Ant and Dex Saturday night takeaway, and you've come in with a surprise. You've won £500. Thank you so much. Oh my god, I feel like I've won a Pride of Britain award.
What a selection, by the
I've
way.
never been more excited to have a bag of shopping. I love that you gave me that as well, like it was a takeaway.
You got the collection code?
Careful, the bag's hot. Do you know what I mean? Love it.
I've never been happier with guest purchases. I'm so ecstatic with what you've done
Absolutely
there.
buzzing. It's just Leeds.
It is, I mean, that's all. That's all
Because
this
no
series
other
should
club
be.
should exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Every guest that comes on, I ask them to suggest someone else to come on. Could you suggest someone?
Well, considering I've just I've done an absolute Leeds sweep, I think you should restock because I think the person I'm going to suggest will want a lot of Leeds stuff. They've got a bit more time now. They've just retired from international football.
Yeah.
Leeds' own, Rachel Daly.
Rachel
Daly.
The Leeds tattoo as well. Oh, there's so much to talk about there.
Yeah,
Great suggestion.
absolutely.
Well, if you want to save yourself 10% at Classic Football Shirts, use the code AwayDays at checkout. Comment what you thought Maisie's best purchase was to have a chance to win a £50 voucher as well. I've been Ellis. Be sure to subscribe for more football shirt content and more Away Days. Be sure to check out Maisie's socials, linked in the description, and also Big Kick Energy as well. We'll be back soon for more shirt shopping. Ciao, ciao. Bye.